Most people don't fail in most people don't fail in life.
They don't collapse.
They don't lose everything.
They don't hit a dramatic breaking point.
They stay. They stay exactly where they are.
Same income, same routines, same stress, same conversations, same complaints.
Year after year. And the most dangerous part isn't that they're stuck.
It's that nothing feels wrong enough to force change. Because no one wakes up one day and decides to live an average life.
It doesn't start as average, like it starts as temporary.
You tell yourself this is just a phase, that you're building something, that you're waiting for the right moment.
That things will make sense later.
But later never arrives on its own. The phase stretches.
The waiting becomes familiar.
And one day, without noticing, the idea of moving feels heavier than the idea of staying. You don't feel trapped. You feel comfortable. And comfort is the most dangerous force in a human life.
Not because it hurts you,
but because it slowly removes urgency. Comfort tells you that tomorrow can look like today.
Comfort tells you that you still have time. Comfort tells you that nothing is on fire, so nothing needs to change. And that's how average locks in. Average is not about money.
It never was. Average is about patterns, the same mornings, the same habits, the same distractions, the same conversations that go nowhere. You wake up, you check your phone, you scroll,
You consume opinions.
you absorb other people's fears without realizing it. And slowly, your thinking narrows, not because you're incapable,
But because predictability feels safe.
predictability gives you the illusion of control. And once life becomes predictable, imagination shuts down. You stop imagining different outcomes.
You stop questioning the direction you're moving in. You stop asking uncomfortable questions.
Because questioning everything feels exhausting. So you accept things as just how it is. This is where people get stuck for decades. Not because they lack ability, and not because they lack intelligence, not because they lack opportunity,
But because change threatened their identity. If you change too much, you won't fit the role anymore.
if you grow too fast, people won't recognize you. If you move differently, you'll disrupt expectations.
And expectations are heavy.
Everyone around you has an image of who you are.
Who you're supposed to be, how far you're supposed to go.
Breaking out of average means breaking that image. And most people would rather stay small than deal with being misunderstood. So they soften their goals, they lower expectations.
They call it being realistic.
But realism is often just fear dressed as wisdom. This is where hard work enters the picture and confuses people.
They work hard,
They stay busy,
they stay exhausted.
and they think effort alone should save them. But hard work doesn't free you from average. Hard work makes you better at surviving inside it. You learn how to manage stress instead of removing it. You learn how to cope instead of escaping. You learn how to tolerate a life that doesn't excite you. That's the trap.
You become efficient at a life you don't actually want.
And because you're functioning, you think you're progressing. But functioning is not freedom.
This is why motivation doesn't work. And
This is why quotes fade. This is why hustle culture burns people out. Because average is not a motivation problem, it's a belief problem. If you believe your current life is normal,
you will defend it.
even when it drains you, even when it limits you, even when you feel something is missing and you justify it, you normalize it, you tell yourself everyone feels this way.
And once struggle feels normal, urgency disappears.
That's why most people never leave average, not because they can't.
But because they stop feeling the need to.
The people who escape average don't do it loudly. They don't announce their plans. They don't argue with everyone. They don't explain themselves. They go quiet. They start thinking differently in private. They question assumptions they used to accept. They stop reacting emotionally to everything around them.
They protect their time. They protect their attention. They protect their energy. And this quiet phase feels uncomfortable.
It feels slow. It feels lonely. And it feels uncertain. But this is where separation begins.
There's a moment most people never reach
The moment where you see your life clearly.
and realize that if nothing changes,
This is it. Not a phase, not a chapter, not a stepping stone. This Some people panic when they see this. Most people distract themselves. Very few people decide.
Decision is not motivation.
Decision is final. Decision doesn't feel exciting.
It feels heavy.